Kentucky may not be the biggest or most interesting state, but that doesn't mean we don't have sights to see. I sat down with Steve Middleton, a professor here at Morehead State University, to discuss his documentary, Commonwealth Curiosities. So, Mr. Middleton, what is the Commonwealth Curiosities documentary about?
So I started making a short list of places I've seen in Kentucky that I thought would be worth visiting. And some of the really popular ones in the state, like the Creation Museum or UK Basketball Hall of Fame, stuff like that. I didn't want to feature anything like that. Those things are too popular, I don't want to say they're too mainstream, but they were away from what I wanted to focus on. So I started with Jim Plummer at the Northeast Kentucky Museum, out Carter Caves Road, out Olive Hill area. And it was a place I'd seen many years as a kid going to Carter Caves, but it was never open. And so I started with him, and I started making a short list of places like Bible Mini Golf in Lexington, the American Dollhouse Museum in Danville, Kentucky, Dinosaur World in Western Kentucky, and Horse Cave, Kentucky. Vent Haven Ventriloquist Dummy Museum in Florence, or Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. And then a place called Hillbilly Gardens in Toyland and way out in Mayfield, Kentucky. And then they sort of started coming together, so I started taking notes and I started sending emails and messages and phone calls to these people to see if they'd be interested, and they loved it because, again, it was publicity for them. So literally I just struck out. I had kind of a skeleton crew, and we went to these places and interviewed the people who owned the places or the curators of the places and featured them, and it all came together to Commonwealth Curiosities, an ode to Kentucky's unique attractions. And the idea, sort of the whole thesis to the project is, we don't go see these places anymore. We have highways and freeways and byways that take you around the cities and small towns, and you drive really fast and you're always in a hurry to where you want to get to, and there's this bygone era of America.
How did you make it, and how long did it take?
I probably had more fun making this documentary than any of the documentaries I've ever produced. It was not rushed, was not stressed. Literally just struck out on the road and saw parts of Kentucky that I'd never seen. I went as far west as you can in the state to touching Missouri. And in the process, I became a Kentucky colonel, and it was a lot of fun producing this piece. And with all the documentaries I've produced, I've always had a skeleton crew of people, a combination of students and friends, and this was no different, and just had a lot of fun just driving around Kentucky with students and former students and colleagues to make this. So it was a lot of fun.
When and where will the documentary be shown?
It'll have its official premiere November 18th. That's a Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. at Coffee Tree Books on the big screen at the old University Cinema. It's free and open to the public.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Middleton. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for listening in, and have a wonderful evening.